'cause you died.
I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minova are joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's going to be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Some of you all up early and ready to rock and roll. Good morning to you, St. Lucia. Good morning to everyone all around the island and in the diaspora, on TV, on Facebook, streaming live on the internet, on 93.1. Good morning to you, and thank you so very much for joining me once again for another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Today is Monday, the 10th day of May, 2021. And folks, the days this year is just flying and flying and flying away. Good morning to those of you out there in the diaspora, in Canada and the United States, and of course those of you in St. Lucia as well who are on your mobile devices. I see all of you there. Good morning to you, good afternoon, wherever you are in the United Kingdom, in the US of A, all around the region, Jamaica, Trinidad, St. Vincent, Grenada. Hey, how's things in St. Vincent? Anyway, morning to those of you in Anguilla. Morning to you, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. Good morning to you. So nice to see all of you here today. A few showers overnight, nothing to cry about, nothing to make a big deal about. And it's another lovely day in paradise. And today is getting off to a good start. A few, gray clouds up above, but nothing to cry about. Right now in St. Lucia, the temperature is 79 degrees, going up today to a high of 86. It's going to be a little windy today, this morning into this afternoon. But then the sun's going to be playing hide and seek most of the day with the clouds. But besides that, very low chance of any rain until midnight, 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. A slight chance of rain, about 25%. Nevertheless, it's going to be a partly cloudy day. Cloudy, sunny, windy. Nice day in paradise. And I'm Norbert Williams from the Sky FM Weather Center. How you like that, folks? How you like that? Siko munka by weather, usaf? Good morning to you in the north, in the south, the east, the west, Viewfort. Hey, what's going on down there? Viewfort! Viewfort South, and of course, the part of Viewfort that's going London now. That's London town. That's right, Viewfort North. Yeah. Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Good morning. Leve la, leve la. It's time to rise and shine at 13 minutes after 6 in the morning. Morning to you. Yeah. That's it. And the birds and the bees gonna get our day started off right. You hear them, folks? You hear them? How was your weekend? What did you do? Are you reviving yourself from the weekend's activities? Whatever you did, good, bad, and ugly. You having your coffee, your Diteka-Co, your lemon lime mix twist? What you having? Tell me, call me, tell me. The number here in the studio is 456-0931, 456-0931. And of course, on WhatsApp, that's right, WhatsApp, what's up, WhatsApp. If you're the frugal kind, or if you're in the diaspora, or if you just don't have any credit, but you have Wi-Fi, or you're stealing somebody's Wi-Fi, or you have Wi-Fi at home, you can call or message. Our WhatsApp number is 485-0931, 485-0931. That's right, folks. Yeah, we got you covered everywhere. On the Keeping It Real page on Facebook, the address to that is facebook.com/keepingitrealslu. One word. Just again, folks, there are no spaces in internet addresses. No spaces. Keeping It Real SLU. Facebook.com/keepingitrealslu. All one word. I ain't gonna say that again. In 2021, you should know that by now. If you have any space in your internet address, that's where the computer stops looking. Just everything before that space, that's it. Anything after the space never existed. Sky FM also has a Facebook page, facebook.com/SkyFMSLU. And for those of you listening on radio or you're watching on Facebook and you want the link so you could listen in your car, you could listen on your mobile device, wherever you are, the link for that is live.skyfm.lc. Bon, pas di www. Ada zot ni pou koute sa moun ka di zot. live.skyfm.lc. Sa se l'adresse la. Live, L-I-V-E .skyfm.lc. Ek tous les jours, même ces moun la, kamande mwen même question. What's the address again? What's the address again? What's the address again? What's comme si Dio stick on 45? What's the address again? I'm keeping it real with y'all, man. Come on. Marche ekwi. Save it on your phone. Save the numbers. Tous les jours. What's the number again? What's the number again? What's the number again? Mwen man tan pou sa. Bon. Halen di pa koumanse ek mwen. Good morning to Tita, all the way down there in Saltibus. Good morning to you. How are you? Good morning to my early morning risers, early morning listeners, early morning... I don't want to call you what I was going to call you. But you know who you are. The ardent fans of Keeping It Real. Now, I was talking to somebody last week. It's a she. A charming young lady last week. Yeah, that's right. She has the biggest smile you can imagine. I said, boy, when I get up in the morning and I'm getting ready, it's Keeping It Real from 6 o'clock. When I get up, having my tea, whatever I'm doing, brushing my teeth, have it on. When I get in the car to go to work, I'm listening to it in there. When I get to work, I'm listening to it there. From 6 o'clock in the morning until they shut down in the night. Oh my gosh. We have some wonderful fans around here. We have some wonderful fans for Keeping It Real. Good morning. Just keeping it real with you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. We have fans all over. Listen, yesterday, I don't have it here now. But yesterday, I think, what was his name? Peterson? St. Lucian all the way in the US of A. And he drives a big rig, you know, those big trucks. pulling containers. You know, I should have asked you yesterday whether you drove whether you had a land train. You know what a land train is, folks? It's a big rig that pulls more than one container. Has more than one trailer. The two of them are connected behind, so that's why they call it a land train. Like I don't see books like a voler là where you pass on the interstate line, the highway. Whoosh, blazing. I remember I was driving some time ago with some friends going to a wedding in Detroit, Michigan. Like Leo quitter cité, Leo quitter civilisation. No more lights, no more houses, no more buildings, no more street lights, nada. C'est just chimé. Noué. Dark and black. Folks, I'm telling you, the headlights are lost. You're not seeing anything. There's nothing to see. It's just road. You just watch the markings on the road. Like na volé. We left. I'll tell you, it took us 11 hours driving straight. 3 of us. We drove in shifts, 3 hours each. Like nous ka volé. And a land train passed us like we were parked like by la dispawet. Volé sa ka volé comme ça. I'm like, what's going on? That's right. Interesting. Dark. So maybe the next time he calls, he can tell us whether he drives a regular trailer or whether he drives a land train. 2 of them hitched together. Anyway, what did you do for the weekend for Mother's Day? We had a nice session here. I came in at 1 o'clock. Then Dr. Secret was here, and then Herod was here, and Champagne, and then Ring the Bell was here for a little while. So how was your Mother's Day? What did you do? Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Dage.
Morning, what going on, ma?
Oh, yeah, getting ready for work now, ma.
Yeah? Ma, what you do? Look, ma, look, what you do for Mother's Day, ma?
I just go out and watch some TV, you know, watch football, you know.
Yeah?
You know me, Lucian, football lover, man.
Mm.
Watch my team Arsenal win, get a victory. You know what I'm saying?
So what's on the agenda today?
Lucia?
What's on the agenda today? You going to make the big bucks again?
Boy, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being poor, you know.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
I'm very, very tired of being poor. I want to know what it's like being rich.
Yeah, everybody,
right.
everybody.
I want to be like you.
Yeah, up at 6 o'clock, up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, okay.
I up at 4 o'clock in the morning like that.
Let me tell you something, man. Rich people ain't getting up at that time, you know, man.
No, that's true.
It's hardworking people get up at that time, man.
Those are the people that wake up that.
Yeah.
Those are the people that wake up that early. The businessmen wake up that time.
That's making all the deals. That's right.
Not businessmen. People that ask the Michael Shafty.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get an hour sleep, 2 hours sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, good morning to my favorite elderly statesman, Sir Michael Shafty. Good morning to you, sir. Sir Peter Josie. Good morning to you all. My Conway people, Baradio people, and Darling Road people. Good morning to you all. Don't forget, keep the SFP out of the gate. Now, I missed somebody. The greatest chief medical officer on the planet, Dr. Sharon Bamber George. Yes, I'm talking about you. Good morning to you and your frontline team. Mr. Williams.
Yeah, that's my name. Don't wear it out, man.
I gotta get my own talk show, right? I saw over the weekend the opposition leaders, opposition leaders, Philip J. Pierre and Dr. Kenny Anthony, telling the people of St. Lucia follow protocols.
The protocols.
I'll tell you something, right? Unlike you, Mr. Williams, I ain't been to St. Mary's College. I've been to Anglican.
Yeah, I went to
That's not a
Anglican
little
too.
common sense.
I went to Anglican too.
But I started there and ended there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
You started there, went to St. Mary's College, then university, and God knows where else. Okay? I'm saying this to you. It took these men, because it's election times around the corner, it took these men a year and 2 months to tell people, just to say the sentence, follow protocol. Follow protocol. Just two words. Just 2 words. It took them a year and 2 months to do that. You know what I'm saying? Breaking all kind of laws. Inside, left side, right side, wrong side, you then decide, they do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's very sad, Mr. Williams. They look at us like papi shows. You know what I'm saying? Now, another thing. Our great leader, the greatest leader on the planet, Sir Alan Michael Shastey, he went on a business trip of the U.S. representing the Caribbean. Not that. Representing the Caribbean. Talking to businessmen over there for the Caribbean. I don't know if you're taking notes. Whenever the CARICOM is sending someone in the diaspora, yes, they always send the great man. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Because the man knows his ways around the place. The man is respected world over, even on the moon. You know what I'm saying? That's no coincidence. They all of a sudden, so Alan Michael Shastey to talk to businessmen. That's no coincidence. That's common sense. Because he's simply the best. He's simply the best. No matter those jokers all they're talking about, this guy for St. Kitts, or this guy for Jamaica, and this guy for Trinidad, all that kind of party show. Huh? The man that comes up front all the time is Sir Alan Michael Shastey, and he did it early again this year when he went to the international meeting in Geneva, Switzerland. 1,500 delegates, and he was the only one chosen for the Caribbean. Huh? About all the big shots, kings, queens, presidents, and big kahunas like Bill Gates and those guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's the respect the man has.
30 seconds, caller. Let's get the morning rolling.
One more thing.
Yeah.
You thought that you always cut it by time. Now, let's get back to... I realize that the SNP is putting in the people's head of St. Lucia, in the Malawi head, a lot of bad and wrong things about Sir Michael Shastey and Sir Peter Georgie. I want to say that to y'all. Y'all can try to fool who y'all can fool. But I can tell you something. SNP, y'all ain't nowhere near. Y'all can't even tell the lessons on Sir Peter Georgie or Sir Michael Shastey. Look, y'all can't even tell the lessons. Y'all cannot even carry for them. They make a mark on the plan on St. Lucia. They're respected in St. Lucia. You can't take that away. They make good history in St. Lucia. Zapa, yeah. Hate to use the word, but I have to use the word. Zote kaka. Have a day.
Okay, I got a message here from somebody else. And that person says, "Good morning to you. I'm just having some red rose." I guess that's red rose tea. And we have another message here. "The closer you get to excellence in your life, the more friends you lose. People love you when you're average because it makes them comfortable. But when you pursue greatness, it makes people uncomfortable. Be prepared to lose some friends on your journey." And they go on to say, "Obstacles are put in your way to see if what you want is really worth fighting for." 4560931. Good morning to the man, Mr. Leclerc, as everybody calls him, cool and easy as the wind blows. Good morning to you if you're from Leclerc, if you're in the diaspora and you're a Leclercian. Or if you live there right now, good morning, it's time to get up. And I'm looking out the window and I see some more dark clouds floating in. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning,
Hey,
good morning,
good
good
morning.
morning.
Fancy, I was just mentioning your name.
How are you?
I'm great, man, great. It's Monday. I love it.
Well, I'm cool and easy as the wind blows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was your weekend? How was your Mother's Day?
Well, it wasn't too bad, you know.
It was just a little bad?
I wish my mother happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I call her
Yeah.
from the United States, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
You know that a fine cage will not feed a bird? The cage is doing pretty well, but what about the bird, the individual? You know, the material in life can be compared to a cage. And we, as a bird, the cage is doing pretty well. But what about the bird? We have to be very, very give priority to the bird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because whilst our material possessions are doing pretty well, but we, the individual, is like a bird in a cage. Even though that you free the bird is free to fly into our cage too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be very careful that we need to get knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you know, so that we can able to liberate ourselves, you know. It's very important that we get wisdom. You know that wisdom is not controversial? The Bible is the biggest controversial book.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, things that is very controversial seems to be keeping people on their toe, make their blood flow.
Yeah.
But wisdom, it is just mellow. It is not controversial. That is why wisdom is not in high demand, because it's not controversial. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Have a great day too. The man, Mr. Leclerc, the Keeping It Real morning thought of the day. Yeah. Always with some words of wisdom. Morning to you in Deriso. Good morning. Morning to you in Canaries, Floravilla. Bonjour, Sagafetla, Anslare, Otabor Heights. Good morning to you. Morning to Market Street in Anslare. Good morning. Morning to you. It's biggest fans of Keeping It Real you can find are right there on Market Street in Anslare, folks. Yeah. Biggest fans you can find. It's Monday, 6:31. You should be getting ready to head out. School's out. School's in. School. You know what happens with the traffic, especially if you're coming from up north or wherever. So you want to beat the traffic and leave a little earlier. Of course, I don't have such problems early in the morning when I'm on the roads. But good morning to the minibus drivers. You know, Sky FM and Keeping It Real is a big show for the minibus drivers. And the reports that we're getting is that all over St. Lucia, almost all the minibus drivers have Sky FM on now. And throughout the day. And coming up at 9 o'clock, Champagne in the morning. Oh boy, they all over that like white on rice. Yeah. And especially on Thursdays when talking traffic or talking with the police or with Champagne here from 10 o'clock, man, the minibus drivers have Sky FM on lock with Champagne in the morning. Meanwhile, good morning to the police officers. Those of you down south, you know, what they call back in the day and still now, the outstations. If you're out of Castries, then you're out of town. You're in an outstation. You're in the wilderness. If you're in Canaries or Anslare, you were lost in space, you know, back in the day when the roads were much smaller and transportation was not as frequent and you didn't have so many buses. You had one bus if you live in Canneries or Ancillary, to come up to Castries. One bus left about 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. And if you miss that bus, that's it. You have to wait until tomorrow, next day. And when you're coming back, do whatever business you're doing in town, and you have to get the next bus going back from around the market area there. And if you miss that bus, you'll sleep on the bench at Port Police Station. Yeah. Yeah, folks, a lot of things some of you don't know. A lot of things some of you don't know. When you get that big bus, that big truck with the wooden back, like a bench shy, and you have those benches inside there, and the smoke getting, people riding that thing, they head outside most of the way. You're coming down those hairpin bends all the way from Canneries and Soufrière and Ancillary there. You know, many buses went down in the fall and up the Mon there. There was no Latok Road, you know. Those of you who know that Latok Road there by Latok Hotel and all of that area there. There was no Latok Road. No Latok Road, folks. It was Boakache. Remember Boakache? There was Boakache and there was this, the Old Mon Road. Yeah. You're coming around there, folks. Bet you haven't heard the stories of the brakes giving way. Those big trucks overloaded with people inside. And some on top too. And see who got this on the cab with Samawe and Lela. Oh yeah. Ask your mother and your grandmother. Ask them about that. Ask them about that, folks. Take a deep breath. Get ready for your day. And to those of you already on the roads, in the minibuses and in your cars driving up to Castries or driving, now hey folks, nowadays driving down to Vieux Fort to work is a very common thing. Not like before, all traffic was heading up north. So if you're in traffic somewhere, or as the morning rolls along, pretty soon, in Grosley coming down to Castries, you're going to be stuck in traffic. You're going to be cursing yourself. Why didn't I leave 10 minutes earlier? It's really amazing how a few minutes make such a big difference. The difference between leaving home at 7:15 and leaving home at 7 o'clock. Big difference. Big difference. And it all depends on where you're leaving to, where you're leaving from. So anyway, I have some information for you folks, those of you who are interested in getting your COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah, they're still there. And the COVID-19 vaccine drive for this week, May the 10th to the 15th, and that goes up until Saturday. So let me give you the dates and the locations. Today, Monday, the 10th of May, Soufrière Hospital grounds, the VG Sports Complex, and the Dennery Mothers Preschool. Let me say that again. Today, Monday, if you want to get your COVID-19 vaccine, the Soufrière Hospital grounds, the VG Sports Complex, and the Dennery Mothers Preschool. Tomorrow, Tuesday, May the 11th, 2021, the Philip Marsnick grounds, that's in Vieux Fort, the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground, that's in Beauséjour, Grosley, and the Jacmel Wellness Center. Wednesday, May the 12th, the Dennery Mothers Preschool once again, the Soufrière Hospital grounds, and the VG Sports Complex up here in Castries. Thursday, May the 13th, 2021, Darren Sammy Cricket Ground again, the Philip Marsnick Grounds in Vieux Fort. Friday, May the 14th, the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground again in Grosley, Beauséjour, Grosley, and the Jacmel Wellness Center. And on Saturday, The VG Sports Complex. There you have it, folks. If you need to get your second jab, if you need to get your first one, if you've been hesitating, reluctant, scared, whatever it is, just waiting, haven't had the time yet, well, this week they're doing it again. It's rolling along nicely, and pretty soon we'll be getting another shipment of vaccines here in St. Lucia. Good. So, what's happening on the international scene? Folks, the situation in India is going wild. I think the worst in the world. Well, India is just about is the largest population in the world. 1.3, well, not quite. 1.3 billion people. 1.3 billion people. And that's amazing. 1.3 billion is China. And I'll tell you what India is. India is 1.3 billion. 1.366 billion. And China is 1.398 billion. Wow. Imagine the difference between India, which is China is 1.398 and India is 1.366. So the difference there is 32 million people. Difference is 32 million people between China and India. China has 32 million more people than India. Folks, can you believe that? Can you believe that? Let me see here if I can do a little comparison. The population of South America is 422 million. Wow. South America, 422 million people. Let's see what the population of the Caribbean is. 2 million something? 3 million? The Caribbean is, population of the Caribbean is 44 million? Really? 44 million? Where's that number coming from? The current population of the Caribbean is 43,700,795 as of Sunday, May the 9th, 2021. I'm a little surprised. Are they including Cuba? Are they? Well, I would suppose so. They're including Cuba and Haiti and the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, I guess. Wow. What shall I say? Folks, we have to continue following the protocols. It's 6:41 in the morning. We have to keep following the protocols. We have to do what's right. 4560931. What's on your mind today? Give me a call. You know, it's a hazy, lazy kind of Monday morning. Not up to much today. So I'm going to give you an opportunity wherever you are to call in and tell me what's on your mind. What happened for Mother's Day? What do you think about Mother's Day under COVID? Well, this is our second one, but last year at this time, we certainly didn't have the numbers that we have now. And a whole year behind us of COVID. So what's happening? What's happening? Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Morning, sir. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I just need to ask a question.
Yeah.
I keep saying, okay, let's just take into, let's take into consideration, let's think for once that the Labour Party happened to form the government. How will they be able to finance any project when the last 5 years they were not given credit? Are they going to continue on our vein or to develop? Do you think they will trust them to move on? Or where will they get the money? all the projects they intend to, or whatever they say they want to do, how will they go about doing that?
I don't know, caller, and well, not just the projects. The fact that
Every other thing. How will they be able to do it? Okay. Is there a possibility that they'll go back to the NIS because during the COVID time they keep saying, go to the NIS, give the people. Is that one of the plans? So by the time I get to the real age of 65, what will be there for me?
There'll be nothing there for you.
What about the children that coming here now? At least me at 65. What about those that coming after us now? So I don't know. I know they listen. So could somebody in the Labour Party come and explain to me how we will be able to finance all the projects?
Good luck, caller.
But I'm sure if you have asking that question, it's evident that all over the place that it's been financed.
Good luck.
Okay, good luck. Thanks a lot, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping it real. Folks, when you listen to the crazy statements that are being made by the 6 horsemen, and I saw the most ridiculous thing, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it for tomorrow night because, folks, you don't want to miss tomorrow night. You don't want to miss tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Keeping it real on Hot 7 TV, 8:30 p.m. Pamoche, pis makai mocheo. 8:30 tomorrow night, and it's just incredible. I understand elections come around every 5 years and you have your plans, you have your ideas, you have your intentions, but the ludicrous nonsense that is being pushed by the SLP, it's absolutely incredible. And tomorrow night, I'm going to go down a list. It may not be a very long list, but a list of things intended to malmene your cervelle. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. Good morning.
Good morning, Howard.
Morning, how are you? Caller, I think you need a new phone, okay?
I'm fine. No.
You need to buy some fair son comme si in water doing. Massa, chaque le ou kouye bay la ni a chaque doing.
No, but that's a new phone.
It's
My
new.
internet that giving problems.
Well, massa.
The internet that has a problem. Let me tell you. Following through on what the gentleman just said about where the Labour Party will be getting the money, he mentioned NIC. But we lose that deal from Cabot already because of the SLP, so we won't be collecting any more revenue there for them to go to NIC.
Another bank is collecting
I'm just telling the caller he forgot to mention that. So we lose how many millions already because of SLP, so then we don't even have an NIC to go to. They won't have an NIC to go to. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real.
All right.
That's right. Folks, we have to remember, don't forget, the people who are guided by the science had the intentions, note the word, were blasé enough to suggest that the protest march on October the 4th last year would have been the largest protest march in the history of St. Lucia. The people guided by the science. The people guided by the science had that ridiculous motorcade 2 Saturdays ago down in the Miku area, down in South. Guided by the science, a person whose system is already compromised and very fragile in Jeremiah Norbert. That's a fact. I ain't asking you that. I'm not asking anybody to tell you that. It's a fact. If you had surgery, if you had a major situation like that, you're very vulnerable. Look where you mele. Say it and so. Tell me I'm lying. I'm waiting for y'all. I'm ready for y'all. Tell me I'm lying. The most irresponsible, reckless, shh, don't say it. You can imagine. Ridiculous. Just like the march they had in October last year. And when you listen to people who are supposed to be intelligent, people who are supposed to be educated, tertiary levels of education, and you hear the crap excuses they want to make. Ridiculous. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. Absolute nonsense. Comme si disait, kakakal baski en tête Saint-Lucien. You know, I repeat it as much as you want. Repeat it and repeat it and repeat the nonsense. Is not going to change the reality. Is not going to change the science. But they tell you, we're guided by the science. As if, you know, it's some big badge of honor. Oh, we're guided by the science. Woo-hoo. Come so do you say Bill Nye the science guy. We're guided by the science. The question I have to ask is, what darn science is that? That ain't the science I know. That ain't the science that's being discussed by the World Health Organization, by PAHO, by the CDC, by all the CMOs and the medical ministries and departments around the world. The science? Qui science? Se moun sa pa sav, yo pa konet ki sa science ye. But you know, that's a convenient part that's left out. You're guided by the science. Which science? Whose science? Which agency? Because science, SLP c'est pas yo qui create science. C'est science en lot moun, en lot organisation. So key science, yo ka suiv. Follow the science. Which one? Which one? That's the question you all need to ask them. Ka malmene sevel mounek bajo bêtise. Parole dou, langue dou. Mais là où bien écouter ça yo dit, là où examiner ça yo dit, c'est en l'eau bêtise. Pansistance man, ça kon zo sec. Ça pas rien, ça pas nan, ça pas sauce, ça pas rien adan. Sec. Ka morde ça ka casser ça ka djouke dans bouchou. Ça pas rien adan. Pas goût. Talking about you follow, you guided by the science. Papi show. Last point Saint-Lucien servi papi shows out, man. Shucks, man. My gosh. My gosh. So unbearable now. It's so... Delena just... Tan se betis ay... Mwen just vle hey, lay, man. Scream! Ah! Guided by the science. Spare me the agony, please. People of St. Lucia will send you all a very clear and distinct message. Loud and clear when you see elections are called. Talking about elections, it's coming soon. Election is coming soon. How you like that? It's obvious. It's obvious. And one of them will tell you, elections coming in May. Maybe May. Elections coming in June. Elections coming in July. Coming in August. Well, duh. It's gonna be one of those months. No later than October the 12th. Could be September. So if every month you say next month, one of the months is gonna be next month. Oh, you see, I told you. C'est ça yo ka fait, ou sav. Eh ben, yo ka hen anticipation, ou sav. Gouvernement ka fait un bagay semaine prochaine. Et qu'avant gouvernement fait, avant yon annonce, yo ka courir devant. Oh, you better do this. Un bagay gouvernement te ka fait, ou sav. Et que les gouvernements fait semaine prochaine, you see, yes, nous fait. Eh, ban vicieuse. Good morning, you're on the air, let's keep it real.
Good morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir.
Norbert, over the weekend, somebody sent me a message on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
He took time to compile a dossier of all the gaffes that Philip Chipier has made over the last year.
You think anybody could do that? All of them? A large number, you mean?
Most as he can. But I picked out one. And the reason I picked it out is because I think Philip is an economist or an accountant. And the one that I picked out for specific examination was the one where he said that he does not go to supermarkets. And I know Norbert, and I think you will know as well. Most governments around the world, there is something called the price indices.
Price index. Consumer price index.
Yeah. And the indices, that's plural.
Yeah.
And that includes consumer price index and producer price index and so on.
Yeah.
And if you do not go, the supermarket is most likely to sell goods at the cheapest in the country. You would find that the corner shops probably, even you have the vendors, I know for sure, that they would go to Massy, for example, and get some produce there and they repackage it.
Yeah.
You know, which means that you are most likely to get the cheapest goods at the cheapest price at the supermarket.
Yeah.
So when you're compiling those price indices, you would think that that would be the best indication of what prices are in the country. So if you do not go to supermarkets, how are you supposed to prepare a good budget for your people? Why don't you go in there for yourself to see the prices of things? You cannot depend on the prices that you pay at a corner shop.
The convenience stores,
Or convenience store, as we call them here. So I think this is a massive, massive blunder on his part. And St. Lucians really need to examine the state of this guy's mind. Somebody who wants to lead the country. And he cannot get even this right.
But Kola, it's not just that. I mean, when you talk about that, there's more that even jumps out. It's like the man does nothing. He doesn't associate anyway. He doesn't see anything for himself. He doesn't travel. He's stuck in St. Lucia. He's never lived anywhere else. How is he going to relate to life, to the world? Where's the depth of his being? Where's all of that coming from?
I don't know. And I think, poor Philip, I think the other guys in the party, they rubbing their hands with glee at the gaffes that he's making. And nobody is pulling him aside and telling him, well, you need to stop this.
Well,
they're really doing him an injustice.
Well, you think so?
Well, anyway, that's my contribution.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Have a great day. Right, folks. I don't even know where to go with that. I mean, it's, there are expressions out of your depth, out of your league. I mean, Philip JP has been in the shadow of Kenny Anthony for the longest while. He's just basically been a yes man. And I say yes man because he has so many ideas now all of a sudden how to do this, do that. So much so differently to before. And he likes to boast, he likes to tout. I was the deputy prime minister. And he even wanted to halt a session of the House of Parliament on one occasion so that he could go home or go to his office to get the letter that Kenny Anthony wrote to him saying that he was the deputy prime minister. But then, where was that deputy prime minister and his input? What was the significance of that deputy prime minister when apparently he didn't have any essential skills enough to influence some of those monstrosities that have afflicted St. Lucia? Yeah, he talks about, a black man in St. Lucia. I'm black. Big deal. You're black. So many other people in St. Lucia. What does that mean, you black? So what? Black Lives Matter, black, you know. It's writing on all of these things that are foreign to St. Lucia outside, that they're trying to give some kind of equivalency in St. Lucia. It's totally different concept, my friend. But I'm black. Okay, that's supposed to be a badge of honor? Black by itself don't mean nothing. There are a lot of black crooks, tall and short ones. Yeah, damn right. A lot of black crooks. A lot of white crooks too, and grey ones, and beige ones, and all types, everywhere. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Morning, sir.
Last week, I heard over Choice TV.
On another TV station. On a TV station.
Like what?
On a TV station. Pakwe no se munsa is here.
On a TV station.
Yeah.
Mary Police is saying, talking about Ojo Lab.
Oh, she's still on?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering.
Ojo Lab, Cabot, DSH. And she's saying that if they don't take that seriously, the $30 million road they built in Viewfort for Teotihuacan.
It was the road in Viewfort was $30 million?
That's what she said. If they don't take that seriously, sooner or later we'll become just like Haiti.
He says,
Yeah, she said that. I was so surprised to hear that.
Beatties.
The country is being developed to.
I'll have to get that one. I'll have to get that one.
True. You can think.
Oh my gosh.
The place is being developed to provide jobs and other things for young people. And she's talking about. She also said about brush the Henry thing fiasco in the church. Brush that aside and let's concentrate more on Teotihuacan and the DSH and whatever it is. I was so surprised to hear that. But there is something else I want to ask you, Norbert.
Yeah.
Something I noticed in the House of Assembly. Is there a way to sit, a condition is how to sit in the House? Because I noticed Philip J. Pierre, when his colleagues come in to give their contribution in the House, he turns his chair around.
Okay, let me. I know where you're going with that. Let me just rectify that right away, folks. I like to keep it real. I like to keep it honest. Because of the COVID-19 protocols, which are established in the House of Parliament, just like everywhere else, you notice that on the opposition side and on the government side, there are two podiums. And when an opposition member is at the podium, the leader of the opposition would have to turn his chair to see the person on the podium. That is allowed in the House for those purposes. The Speaker and the President of the Senate are very well aware of that, so there's no offense in that.
Well,
that's
what
permitted.
I wanted to know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm glad you explain what it's all about.
Yeah, I heard one or two people bring that up, but that's the reason why that's done.
Okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Okay, have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Have a great day. Yeah, folks, a number of people have mentioned about the leader of the opposition turning his chair, or the back of his chair, away from or towards the Speaker of the House. And that's simply because of the current protocols in the House, and that the podium on the opposition side, when an opposition member is there, that the leader of the opposition would have to swivel his chair in order to see the person at the podium, which would be behind him. Okay? All right. So that's the situation. On the government side, that would not be the case because the Speaker would be to the left and the podium would be to their left as well. It's more forward than on the other side. So nothing going on there. Just keeping it real. So heading back to that, Philip J. Pierre likes to tout. Folks, I heard this thing live, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'm a black man in St. Lucia. I'm black. So what? I'm black too. What do you want? People call me other things too. You dis moi Chabin. You know? So, how black is black? You know, that's the thing. Yesterday, where was I? Yeah. Yesterday, there was, Sky FM did a little thing with the Peer Foundation, and they were feeding the homeless at the CCC, Castries Constituency Council, or, like some people know, the Castries City Hall. And I was there, and I was watching some of the ladies who were assisting there, and there were different shades of complexion. I won't say black, maybe. Different shades, if you want to say different shades of a negroid complexion. Let's put it that way. I'm saying to myself, since Philip J. Pierre referred to himself as black, that he must be using some definition or some yardstick to measure blackness. Because we all know, folks, we all know that the context of Philip J. Pierre making that conversation was in comparing himself or making that comparison to somebody being white. We know that. Let's keep it real this morning and get past that, okay? We all know that. That's the conversation that has been running. That's the statement of a number of people in their march last year. Pervasive. About foreigners, about white man. We know the conversation. Let's not pretend with ourselves or anybody else, because you certainly ain't going to be pretending with me. So he was touting his blackness, and of course, well, look over here, folks. He's darker than me. Does that mean he's more black? Does that mean he's more St. Lucian than me? Does that mean he's more qualified to be a parliamentary representative, or maybe one day Prime Minister of St. Lucia? Does it mean that? Does it mean that because he's black, he's more honest than anybody else? Does it mean because he's black, he's more dishonest than anybody else? Why was that necessary to bring up in our House of Parliament, which is guided, which is ruled by the Constitution of St. Lucia, which has no mention of blackness, whiteness, grayness, anything at all? Nothing. Equal protection under the law in St. Lucia. Folks, even if you are a tourist, you come here on a boat, you fly in, you don't have no St. Lucian passport. I know I said it, you don't have no St. Lucian passport. Double negative. We in St. Lucia, we talking, and Pali. You have no St. Lucian passport. You've never been to St. Lucia. You've never been to the Caribbean. And you come to St. Lucia. Folks, do you realize that just about every right and protection that you, as a born Lucian, has under the Constitution, that anybody within the jurisdiction of St. Lucia, whether you're out there on the water, as far as our international boundaries go, whether you're on the top of Gopito, whether you're in Castries, Soufrière, anywhere you are within the confines of what is described as St. Lucia, you have the same rights as everybody else, except the right to vote. Everything else, you have your rights. Somebody cannot beat you up, they cannot kidnap you, they cannot abuse you, just the same as for any other St. Lucian. And the same way too when you go to another country. You have your rights under the law, under the Constitution. So standing up in our House of Parliament and touting I'm a proud black man, what the hell that means? It's irrelevant. You're a proud man. Black don't make you prouder. White don't make you prouder. But that was said in the context of the big conversation that we've been having nowadays. Racist. I said it. I ain't afraid to say it. Y'all know I ain't afraid to say it. But that's what he was playing on. The white and black thing that they themselves have been pushing. If you haven't figured that out, you lost in space in St. Lucia. Or you just got here, you just come down. But he went on further to say, he only has one passport, a St. Lucian passport. So what? So what? So most people in St. Lucia have one passport. That means they automatically qualify to be Prime Minister? There are people in St. Lucia more black than you. Are they more worthy than you? Are they more trustworthy than you? Are they more crooked than you? Hey, watch yourselves. I know you all already. English is a very specific language, and I speak very clear. Are they more crooked than you, Philip J. Pierre? Because somebody can be more crooked than me, and I ain't crooked. Right. So the question is, what was the benefit that you're trying to give to yourself by being black, by having one passport, and not living out, having not lived outside of St. Lucia for any extended period of time? I've lived out of St. Lucia for an extended period of time. Most of the people who send down barrels for Christmas and during this COVID thing have lived out of St. Lucia for an extended period of time. Maybe even 10 years and more. 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Maybe you should send their barrels back because, you know, they've lived out of St. Lucia too long. You know, but for some people, like Philip J. Pierre and the SLP, they don't have any problem that these people with two or more than just a St. Lucian passport, or not as dark as Philip J. Pierre, not as black, they could be beige, they could be yellow, they could be Indian. They have absolutely no problem with them if they come down and vote next elections, do they? You see? You see? Is it a ridiculosity when people talk nonsense? Absolute nonsense. So does any of that qualify you to be Prime Minister? No. In fact, the people of St. Lucia don't give a damn about it. I think it would be very interesting. Maybe he should do that. Maybe you should do that, folks. A lot of people have been encouraged. You know, it's interesting because everybody's on a journey. You know, they want to find themselves. They want to know about their roots. They want to know about their ancestors. They want to know where people came from. Maybe Philip J. Pierre should do a DNA test. What do you call it? A DNA test? Not DNA. DNA test. To find out his roots, his origin, his ancestry. That's it. Ancestry. Very easy to do. Very easy to do. So you can see that you're 2% Motumba tribe or whatever. 15% Southeast Asian, you know. 12% of folks, some people have freaked out. Because it ain't the color of your skin that decides how black you are. And they have them duck. It just happens. How many times have you heard it, folks? Heard it? You need no DNA to know that. Black mother, black father, no! For Philip J. Pierre. You have a child and the child come out blue eyes. Almost white. What is that anyway? Almost white. Huh? You're like, wow. Folks, you know what I want you to do? Philip J. Pierre always said, he went to St. Mary's College. Well, apparently you were not paying attention in biology class or whatever, agriculture or whatever class it was. Because there's a simple explanation for that. Mendelism. And if you paid attention in class, go look it up, folks. Mendelism, or is it two L's? Mendelism and the P's. Go look it up, read, educate yourself today. Makadiu, Mendelism. Go and look it up. I'll give you the accurate spelling right now. It's taught at St. Mary's College way back in the day. And even now, any biology class or any class that you do in the sciences, Mendelism. I'll tell you the name of the guy. By Mendel. What's his name? Gregor Mendel. Mendelism. Read up on that. You could have two parents who black. Your grandparents on both sides could be black. You and your wife or you and your girlfriend, black. And you all have a child and the child come out almost white. We've seen that multiple times in St. Lucia. Everybody knows about that. Or you could have two black parents. One child come out dark, the next one come out blem. Whatever term you want to use. What's that? How you explain that? So the color of your skin don't mean nothing? But you have a man who wants to be prime minister one day, hopefully, one day, talking such magie in the house. Because he's playing on the race card. That's what he's doing. Because a man of his calicotics and equilibrium and sycabora, he's supposed to be more intelligent. He's supposed to be more sensitive to the race and the color issue. But he was pandering to a certain base element by bringing that up. It was not an accident. It was not an accident at all. All the don't get me started this morning, okay? The one passport thing, that's against foreigners. People who you know, have connections outside. Because there's St. Lucians who have two passports. They can't be prime minister one day. They have to drop one. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Morning, sir. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah. I want to say something. When Philip J. was going to St. Mary's College, a white man was the principal of St. Mary's College, Brother Donatus.
Donatus, yeah.
Also, Brother McCartan taught him
caller,
mathematics at college.
Caller, at that time, all the instructors at St. Mary's College were white. Presentation brothers.
Yes. It's Brother McCartan that enabled him to get the ordinary level GST that he has up to now. Yeah, I just called to tell you that.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, Brother Donatus, former principal of St. Mary's College. You had the Father Joachim Snack. You had Brother McCartan. You had a whole load of them. Tout blanc, tout dernier blanc. They are the ones who gave him his education. And me too, and many other St. Lucians who went to St. Mary's College. Folks, you know, it just rushes a memory. When you passed to go to St. Mary's College back in the day, and Philip J.P. knows that, everybody else knows that, those around that time. This was a big deal, you know, when you pass, because the entire island, St. Mary's College and St. Joseph's Convent, that was it. When I passed to go to St. Mary's College, they had a party, you know. Some people don't understand what it was, you know. When you passed to go to St. Mary's College, you were the best of the best in St. Lucia, you know. You were the best of the best. People send their kids to lessons. I had lessons on Saturdays, after school, everything, to go to Convents Membaila. When you pass to go to those schools, it's like you won the lotto. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Albert. How are you?
Morning, sir. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, very good show, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing now that people, St. Lucia now want to be a racist country. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, brother, you've been hearing that from some people. It's surprising.
You know, all countries, you know, at least you see people trying to get out of that.
That's right.
In Europe, the footballers, you know, I mean, they're trying to stamp out racism. In America, you have all demonstrations.
That's right.
And St. Lucia,
that's
we
right,
want to get
caller.
into that.
I give it to you, caller. Good observation.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants, I mean, the larger countries, you know, and they always tell you, well, we have to be taking our cue from those larger countries. I mean, as anything else, when it sneezes, you know, we get a cold. But, I mean, instead of we trying to adopt what they're doing there, you know, instead of trying to step out racism, you know, I mean, I heard a song, I was watching, you know, the show last night, the party show, you know, and a song being sung telling you about is an Indian man and a white man are running the country, you know. That's what St. Lucia's got to.
Nonsense.
I mean,
but they're guided by the science. What does the science have to say about skin complexion? That it don't matter. But they're guided by the science. You see?
Yeah, I just, honestly, I'm trying hard to understand what we're trying to get to, what they want us to get into. And honestly, I just cannot. I just, you know.
You see, caller, you live in that demo, that bolom, that racism bolom. They're raising it. They're taking that racism genie out of the bottle. Eglel wesa soti. Wed pou mete vie osav.
But it's difficult. You cannot just, I mean, indoctrinate people and then just take it out just like that. That is something we're supposed. And let me tell you, in America, when you look at some of the demonstrations, they have more white people, you know, telling you Black Lives Matters. They have more white people telling you that Black Lives Matters.
That's right.
The footballers, when they start in a match and things like that, they don't take a stunner, they take a kneel.
Caller, it has always been said that a lot of the black movements and a lot of the black issues would have gotten nowhere if it had not been for the involvement of white people.
Yep. And you're my brother. Take care, man.
Thank you very much.
Continue the good work.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. You know, I want to know what science they're guided by with this foolishness. And I want to ask, I mean, it may be a statement of fact, but why was there the need to make that statement in the first place? It must be alluding to something. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, brother number.
Morning.
Morning. I'm holding another topic pertaining to Pigeon Point Beach.
Yes.
I want to talk to the nastiness of St. Lucian. Some of them who say they love the beach.
Yeah.
And those that, you know, when they go back home this morning, they will say to their friends, oh, I had a nice time at Pigeon Point. I hope the friends can tell them, are you one of those that litter that beach?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Nasty.
It is time for us to understand that beach belongs to us.
Yeah.
Not for Yellow, not for Labour, not for UWP, but for St. Lucians. You see, every weekend those people come, okay? When they finish, all the garbage is blowing into the ocean. And we say we are beach lovers, we are beach nastiness.
Yeah.
You see, it's like you have your dog, okay, and you're doing your dog, you know, mischievous things. Are you telling me you're a dog lover? Because you have the dog on the leash?
Yeah.
Or something? I mean, we St. Lucian have to learn to understand that, my brother. Government not supposed to put warden there, and then if there is warden to, all this nonsense.
Caller, même se moun sa kay ale l'Amérique, yo kay ale à d'un parc, yo kay ale à the Prospect Park en Brooklyn, yo kay ale Central Park, Manhattan, yo kay ale à the park tout partout, ek yo denot la je yon ti bagay ate.
Exactly. And to see the beach there this morning, come on people, this is ours. You cannot tell me you love Pigeon Point. How can you love, you love your wife and you're beating her? You're giving her dirty clothes to wear, you're not helping her? Is that what you tell me love is for?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying to you? And I'm calling on St. Lucians, all those that was on the beach yesterday, you're a bunch of nasty people.
Nasty.
You see what I'm saying to you?
Now wait to clear.
Keep our country clean. It's just like a man that cleaning your house, okay? You know your friends are coming, you clean in your house and you put in the garbage under
the bed.
It's still in the house. It's still in the house.
Yeah.
It is time. No, but I'm very pissed off. This morning I had to I there fighting with the wind to pick up garbage to prevent them from going in the water. And that happened from last night. So you know how the amount of garbage that's already in the ocean? All those people that come into Pigeon Point, I'm begging you all, when you're leaving your home, right, and you're finished with your garbage, put it at the back of your car and drive it back to your home.
Yep.
Do not leave the beach dirty like this. You know, and we're talking about tourists, we're talking about, if it was Barbados, when a Belgian comes and says, ocean of damn dirty people, Mafnike kadi you say Selewa, you Papua. Why should we let people say these things about us? I'm warning the people who come into Pigeon Point. Keep the beach clean. It is for your children, for me, for everybody else. We cannot afford to do these things and believe to ourselves this is the best thing. You know, whether you are Labour, whether you are UWP, whether you are PLP, whatever you are in party, right? I don't give a shit who you are, but I am saying to you, keep that place clean. It is our beach. It belongs to us. I am pissed off because what I see that every weekend is the same thing, but this morning I just couldn't take it anymore. Do not come and dirty Pigeon Point people and go back to your home and say to your friend, oh, I had a nice time on the beach. So your friends now supposed to ask you after they heard what I'm saying. Were you part of those who littered that place? You shouldn't do it. Tell them that they will learn from there.
Malpop.
I am pissed off now, but I'm very, very, very pissed off. It is time for us to stop that shit. Sorry anyway to use that word shit on your program. You see? But what I'm saying to you, if we say we love our country, why should we litter our own country, my people? We must show love for everything nature put. You know, why is man that destroying what nature put?
Caller, let me tell you something. The other day I was driving, and I done your sal malpop. Some of these minibus drivers, note I said the word some. Si ou el eta van la, minibus la, si ou el eta an di dan sa, Lord de an di dan sa, sal malpop. And it was right around after the roundabout by the comprehensive school. And he head into town. As he goes past the roundabout, sa y take a manger, sa y and he flap. He just threw it out the window. And I told him, and you can imagine what he said, shouted to me out of the window, Siusan, Siusa.
Yeah.
And we know that about them. Some of them are the most malpop, the most malmess about the place. And it's time there needs to be an exam.
Yeah.
When you go to get a minibus, there should be a minibus driver's exam before you can get on the road. Même manière, la supposé ni un exemple pour taxi exe by sa l'Amérique, ebe l'Angleterre, ebe Canada. They should have that here. People of St. Lucia have complained too much about the malmess, about the dirtiness of some of these minibus drivers. Dans yo bien propre. So, listen to me, man. Some time ago, I got on a bus, okay, going up north. Ek mwen asi when we te an avion ou sav. The announcements the guy made, the jokes that he made, how he engaged people on the bus and everything.
Yeah,
I say I'm not in St. Lucia.
Very tidy, some of them are good. You know, so what I'm saying, you know, I understand what you're saying. We're supposed to keep our because we're serving people. It's not when we're serving the tourists alone that inside of our vehicles supposed to be so clean.
The wealth.
Because St. Lucia, you have to give them good service too. You see? Because what I'm saying now, but it was very painful this morning. I just couldn't get it.
I know what you're talking about. You know, I've seen it.
You see? And those people living there this morning, I mean, this morning they'll tell you, oh boy, I was on the beach last night. I do this, boy. It was so nice. And you leave the beach in a mess.
Yeah.
And you're going to say to your friend how nice it was.
Yeah.
Right? When you find every morning government have to pay people to clean the beach. So they'll say, oh, super kite.
That's right.
They have something saying to them.
Yeah. Upa ini to avai.
See, upa la bakahin. But it's the same with somebody that cleaning the toilet. You're supposed to do whatever is inside of the toilet, and you decide to do it outside the toilet. That is the way you're treating the person? That cleaning the toilet? Is that what you are saying to me? Right? Okay? I mean, what I'm saying to you, you use the bitch. You finish with your garbage. Put it at the back of your vehicle and say, well, let me take that home. So when the garbage truck is passing the following day or day after, but you just leave it on the beach. It is in a mess there. Brother, let me tell you something. St. Lucian, I'm begging you all. Please, I'm telling you all. Whatever you're using belongs to us. It don't belong to UWP, SLP, PLP, PP, any P you want to look at it. Right? It's us. We are the government. We're supposed to do things that is good for our children to learn from. And I'm saying to all of you all that was on the beach yesterday, you're a bunch of nasty people. Very nasty people. And I don't know how to call you all. So be careful saying to people that you was on Pigeon Point Beach yesterday because you're one of those that have been very nasty to the beach. No respect for the beach. Good. Have a good day, my brother.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. You know, folks, let me tell you something. Here's this. Philip J. Pierre wants it to be a badge of honor for him as never having really lived anywhere else. I have nowhere to go, that's where he says. They have lots of people who have nowhere to go. They mash up the country, you know. They have many people who are black in St. Lucia who have one passport or no passport. They've never lived anywhere else. And they had Bordelais, you know. They had Bordelais. They have many St. Lucians, or there are some St. Lucians who are black. They have one passport. They never lived anywhere else, and police looking for them now, you know. So what does that mean? What does it mean? It means nothing. You are judged by the content of your character, not by the color of your skin, not by how many passports you have, not by where you've lived, how long you've lived out of St. Lucia. There's no such requirement anywhere on the ballots of St. Lucia. And clearly, it doesn't matter to the people of St. Lucia. It's the most ignorant thing to be said in our House of Parliament. It may be a statement of fact, but what's the relevance? Doo-doo stinks. You can say that, that's a fact, but what's the relevance of saying it in the House? What are you alluding to? What are you making those statements in concert with? That's the question to ask yourself. What is the underlying tone of that statement? That's what you have to ask yourself about. That's what you have to ask yourself. What is the underlying tone? What was Philip J. Pierre projecting when he made those statements? What was the environment? What is the environment that his party has been creating? That's what you have to ask yourself. The racist undertones and the xenophobic undertones. And don't forget, I asked you all to look up Mendelism, Mendelism, when you're talking about skin color. You didn't pay too much attention at St. Mary's College to make such an ignorant statement about your black skin color. What that means? When you get a blood transfusion at the hospital, is it only from black people you can get it? When you need blood, they tell you have to be a black person, or this person is half black, half white. We only want half black, half white blood from somebody who's half black, half white? Or you only want blood from somebody who's Indian? Or only if you're Syrian? Or only if you're from Grenada or Trinidad? I mean, the abject stupidity, and that's what it has to be tackled as. That's what it has to be called out for. Foolishness. Want to continue to bring up the past. Only when it's convenient. See, folks, you see how you catch them? Only when it's convenient. You have the opportunity now to change. Yourself first. The people around you. You're the leader of that party. Change the people around you. Change the rhetoric. Tell them, no, 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 no. I will not be a part of that. That's what you have to do. That's where you started. Let us see the value of your blackness if that's what you want to tout. Muchwenu who say no, man. If that's what you want to talk, let's see it there. Let's see it there. The nastiness that has come out from the hackalacks on your side, you know it. When you see them people who want to associate with you, that you say nothing about the violence that they preaching. You say nothing about it. You moo-moo. When people say they're going to throw grenades and tear gas in the house and put it under the seat of the prime minister, what have you, Philip JPS, said about that? Nothing. Nothing. Anu weki kalte nomuye to stand up about those things. Beatties in this country are sick of this foolishness. The subtle racism. Don't start this morning, huh? We're bien relax. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. Good morning, you're on the air. You need to listen to your phone.
Good morning.
Okay, sorry, a little too late. Gotta try that again. You have to listen to your phone, not to your radio, or your device, or your computer. You have to listen to the phone. Because there is a delay. And if you're waiting to hear yourself on the other end, it's going to take even longer. Let me take a little woosah moment there. Woosah. Let's try that again. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning, Mr. William.
Good morning. You sound a little muffled. Is something over your mouthpiece?
No. Yeah, great show as usual.
Thank you very much.
But there's one point I want to make.
Yeah.
Mr. Harold's class.
Yeah.
He has done a great job to beautify Soufre.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that's degrading Soufre. Is the Soufre cemetery. That's the dirtiest cemetery in St. Lucia.
Why do you say that?
Because of the condition of the cemetery. It's always covered up with grass, and I don't know why they're not cleaning the cemetery.
I wonder who's responsible for that. Who does the cemetery fall under?
I don't know if it's the Catholic Church in Soufre, but I think Mr. Herod should, I know, even if it's not, it's in Soufre, he should really look into it to see that because it's destroying all the work he has done. The place is looking so dirty.
You know, actually, caller, since you bring that up, I remember some time ago, there was actually a conversation about the Soufre cemetery.
It is very dirty. I can tell you it is very dirty. And the thing is always locked, and you cannot even go in there to say at least you'll try and clean your loved one's tomb.
Yeah.
It's always locked. The only time it's open is if there's a funeral, it will be open.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's always closed. But the place is so dirty. And it is close to the main road, the road going to close to the main road.
Yeah.
And everybody passing can see how dirty it is.
Yeah.
I think he should talk to whoever is in charge to really do something with that cemetery.
Yes. I'm actually making a note here on my phone because I should be seeing him this morning. And I will ask him about that. And tomorrow morning, I will report back to you about
thank you
what
so
that's
much.
about.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You. And as I said, great show as usual. I'm enjoying it all the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great day. You too. Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping it real.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, folks. 4560931. Just making my note here so I can remember to ask about the Soufre cemetery and the concerns that were expressed there. Because I do remember there was a conversation that I was having with some people about that not too long ago. So we'll find out who's responsible for the upkeep of the cemetery and see maybe if somebody could say something about that. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. Good morning, you're on the air.
No, but it's me again.
Yes.
No, but you remember just before or after the 97 election, before Sir John went out, remember we had the he put in the litter wardens.
Litter wardens. Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
And as soon as the Kenny Anthony administration took office, they got rid of these people. Now, these are the things that I have always been saying.
But you know what, caller?
If you're a government.
You know what, caller? Thank you so much for reminding me, because I have to do a little something on that tomorrow night. Don't miss it. I will tell you about the little waters.
So let me see. I am always saying, if you're a government, we have UWP, we have SLPs, these two we have. If one government implements something that will benefit the country, why is it when the others come in, they remove it? Because if these litter wardens had stayed there, it would have been about 25 years now. St. Lucia would have been clean.
And they made a mockery of them. They made a mockery of them, call them police Zodi.
Exactly. Police Zodi, all sorts of things like that. Today, our country would have been clean. And another thing I realized, the majority of people that are littering in Castries are SLV supporters.
Well, I don't know
These
about
people
that.
have
I would call her. No. I ain't gonna go with that.
No, but let me tell you.
I am not going to politicize nasty people. Okay?
Listen
people
to me.
Who litter.
I will bring you back again to. Okay, I'll bring you back again to.
Caller, when we have New Year's, when we have Carnival, there's garbage all about the place. It have nothing to do with UW.
We know that. We know about New Year's. We know that. But I'll bring you back to a show Mr. Josie did with Champagne. Yeah. And he said that they did the other little survey.
Who had the survey?
No, Mr. Josie was just speaking.
Yeah.
And he was saying about a survey that they had. And they tell you that when the people go down by the river, you will see the UWP person will take the soap, they would wash it out when they finish washing, clean it, and wrap it in a leaf. But when you see the
caller, I ain't gonna go with. Caller, let's move on. That ain't making any sense. I'm not going to perpetuate that kind of thing.
Let's just leave it there.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there. But I am telling you, the litter wardens, they were very good for the country. And by now, if we had kept it, St. Lucia would have been looking clean.
Well.
Okay, so have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a great day. Folks, them some statements, it doesn't matter who makes them. I just ain't gonna go along those lines. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Sir, good morning.
Morning.
I want to make it quite clear to you that I am not a Labour supporter. But
it doesn't matter.
I need to compliment you on the way you conduct your
Thank you very
program
much.
on mornings.
Thank you.
But when I look at it, when you have the manner in which that you have Dr. Secret conducting his program, as if it's just overshadowing yours, it's making yours look just as ridiculous as
how does that happen?
I don't even know what to say.
How does that happen?
I think you're doing well, and I think they should follow your footsteps and conduct the program, the program the way that you were doing yours. Because I think he's just turning people away. People who have not decided where to vote. He's just turning people away. He's so aggressive, and I don't know. I really don't know what to say.
Some people think I am aggressive. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you very much. Some people think I'm aggressive. Some people think I should tone it down a little bit. But I keep it real here, folks. I keep it real. And well, so much for that. So much for that. 4560931 is the number here in the studio. If you want to give me a ring-a-ling on the ting-a-ling, and somebody here has taken that opportunity. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you? How was your Mother's Day weekend? What did you do?
Well, it was basically quiet, no big deal or anything like that. Now, I wanted to make a contribution there. From what I can see in the politics concerning, your educational vibe on both, on the opposition side, actually.
Yeah.
You see, for me, the way they incite the people You know the kind of massacres and things the fellas have in Africa.
Yeah, the other
killing
places.
their own selves, their own people, and things like that.
Yeah. Cultish mentality.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you look at the situation now and how the fellas, because that is the trend, that is the force they have to fight. You understand? And in doing so now, you have to break a lot of laws of cleanliness, and lots of things. So you find that there's a rage within the system. And the people, they go about doing things. And most of the things that are happening, if you observe fairly well, most of the questionable areas that you can see, the angle where it is coming from, So I think our people have to understand that, as you mentioned, the character, the characteristics, the basic qualities that is needed in our people to move forward. And we ought to look for ourselves, look at where we are heading, because you have to ask yourself a question. Now, am I going back, right, to 1979 or at least 2000? Am I going back there? Or am I moving ahead? And if where I am at, right, is not able to move ahead, what do I do? So it's not a matter of being, vexation of spirit. We're against each other and this kind of thing. That is not the answer to that. You don't put people in power because you like them or because you want them to do a favor for you. That is not the issue. The idea is that you want to move forward and you are looking at a government, all right, a body that is in power in doing so. You have been able to see the demonstration. You are seeing what it is for yourself, So, ou pa mette mwen la because ou mwen mwen, bon vle mwen ba 150 en poche mwen de lele mwen jwene pou pon la piye. That is not the issue.
Sustain.
You understand?
Yeah.
Nou tout kagade pou an travay.
That's right.
We're looking for a betterment. And that's the problem. So instead of creating all this animosity and all of these complications, that is my contribution.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem.
Have a great day. Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping it real. That's somebody sent me a message. I don't know if I read it last week. Apparently I didn't. So they referenced it again. And I think I'm going to read it to you if I can find it here. Yeah. And that was on May the 6th. It's 4 days ago. I think maybe Thursday. Okay, so we have a message, call, so I'm going to take that one. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to our listeners, and good morning to the caller before that one.
Yeah.
That said I am too aggressive on the radio.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't want to answer and say anything.
No, I'd prefer if
but
you didn't.
But that particular caller, you want to call my show and want to take people for Papi show.
Yeah.
You understand? He said he's not labor. And I know very well what agenda he's trying to push when he called my program. Now, if he called back, I don't need to tell him anything, but I can answer him tonight. I am not on the radio to polish and to make love to any labor supporter. My agenda there is to see that the Labour Party does not win, and that is what I am there for. I don't come and polish and make love to people. You look on my program and think that you're going to talk nonsense and I cannot send you out in the water. You understand? Everybody does their show differently. Ring the Bell does it differently. People have a different tone of voice that they speak. So come and call and say nonsense that I tell people away. You're not a UWP supporter. You're not. Because I've heard your word before. So that is why you have problems with me. But anyway, my agenda is to see when I am on air that I push the UWP and to make sure that the Labour Party does not win. That is what Dr. Sitter is there for. So
some people have a problem with that,
if you don't want to listen to my program, call, but just read it off and don't listen to it. But don't comment of nonsense. Straight up. All right.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. Folks, there are shows that are vehemently opposed to the government. They're doing their thing, And I hope that's not somebody who wants to go in a back and forth on this. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Mr. Williams.
Morning, sir.
Those SLPs are using reverse psychology.
Yeah.
It's trying to tell you, you better duck the secret. Better duck the secret.
Yeah.
Better than champagne.
Yeah.
Better champagne is better than ring the bell. Better ring the bell. That's what, you see? So all of y'all at the same time will try to outbeat each other, and you're going to cool down your tone. Because y'all come at the SLP too hard. Y'all come at the SLP too hard. You understand?
Yeah.
Listen to our frat. They're using reverse psychology to get you all to cool down. And they can keep tell them go to that station with a curse all the time. And and go to the Shasta station. Tell them go there. Go and tell Richard Frederick that. Go and tell Yardy and those guys that. Don't bring his crap, his bullshit on the station. Tell the guys right away. Y'all do a great job. Whoever those SLPs. Not a damn seat for them. Give me that song.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. 4560931, and you can send me a message via WhatsApp. In fact, I think I'm going to take a few messages. Let's get through some of the messages now. Let's see here. Good morning, Mr. Norbert Williams. Wait, what? Yeah, they call me by my full name, you know. My full name. Morning, Mr. Norbert Williams. Wow. A bit of correction. It's not like 10 Mary Magdalenes. They cry like 10,000. That's right. C'est pas 10 Mary Madeleine. C'est 10,000 Mary Madeleine. So the Creole did not say 10 Maui Madeleine, but 10,000 Maui Madeleine. Thank you for the correction. And let's go to the next. Oh my gosh. I had so many messages according to somebody I know. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Norbert. Otabor Heights in the house. Listening every day. Boy, people like that every day thing so much. Norbert, did the idea of the Keeping It Real morning edition every day come from Philip J. Pierre's utterance in the House of Parliament some weeks ago? Keeping it real every day. No, it did not. Actually, it came about even before that. No, but I wonder whether these guys around Philip J. Pierre are deliberately allowing him to make all these errors, blunders, so that if by any chance he wins the elections, they can tell him that he is incapable of holding the position of Prime Minister because of all these blunders. And because of all these blunders that he makes, and they will justify this by replaying all these tapes with all of those faux pas. Next one. Morning, Mr. Norbert. What is the verdict on the May 7th case? It was adjourned, all cases on that day. The Vroom Vroom case, all cases on that day were adjourned. Vroom Vroom. Next one. Great show as usual, Norbert. Shout out Inglewood Acres in is there such a... I thought that was New Jersey or California. Inglewood Acres in Grand Riviere, Grosley. Always on, keeping it real. Norbert, what color is a St. Lucian? I want to know. Good question. I give you the bell on that one. What color is a St. Lucian? That's a good question to have. And maybe when I reopen the lines for just a short while, after I go through these messages, somebody could tell me what is the color of a St. Lucian. Good morning, Mr. Williams. Great show as usual. Mr. Herod Stanislas has beautified Soufre, but there is one thing that's degrading. I guess maybe that's the same person. Yes, it is. It is very sad where Philip J. Pierre and his horsemen have been trying to take the country into the racism. These are the people who want to represent us. Just so sad. Good morning, Mr. Williams. The Labour Party has been lost from their inception, and that statement made by their present leader just made it worse. To say on national TV, in our House of Parliament actually, that you don't shop, well, yes, in the supermarket, which means you don't use the same facility as we use, and you want to lead this country as Prime Minister, that statement should show the supporters that he does not associate himself with the average St. Lucian except when he needs their votes. Next one from the UK. Good morning, Mr. N. Oh, makes me sound like a James Bond character, you know, Mr. N. Good morning, Mr. N. The caller about the beach, I agree with him. A white man once told me, if a woman's car is dirty, oh, I can't say that, caller. Oh. Next one. Good morning, Mr. Williams. I would really like to thank this Sky FM team for a fantastic job in making Mother's Day 2021 so merry. Well, you're welcome. Folks, if you missed it, we were here from 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon until very late in the night. Myself, Champagne, Dr. Secret, Ring the Bell, Herod. We had a great time here. We had calls from the US, from all over the world, and of course, all over St. Lucia for Mother's Day. You made it so merry. As such, you will now be referred to as the super fabulous merry men. Super, because you guys came from the sky. I love the way you all jokingly accused each other of not sharing items given. That wasn't a joke, caller. That was serious. And Norbert, you're the boss, but Champagne does not seem scared of you. I look forward to seeing Champagne with shining lips, as you said. Anyway, he has said he wants his things packaged apart from now on. Say one, say two, D on the day. That was a Mother's Day with a difference. It kept people at home as it was meant to. I guess meaning less people would venture out there in COVID-19 airspace. I pray that our numbers decrease this week. Looking forward to seeing you guys in my community this weekend. Thanks again for sharing and spreading the love. Next one. Good morning, Norbert. Pierre is right in everything he is saying because right-thinking St. Lucians have allowed him to do so. Yeah. Yeah. Next one. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. Hope you had a good night's rest. Don't let your day be ruined by people who don't cherish their country. Let me tell you, most of those bus drivers are better off selling coals. You may say I'm disrespectful, but it's the truth. Caller, even before I continue that day, I think we have to make it clear to people that all bus drivers, minibus drivers, are not the same. But there are a few of them who make minibus drivers look very bad. They suck, they smell, their vehicles are in bad shape, they're disrespectful, they enragé, they don't pay any attention to the road, the traffic rules, they drive recklessly with people on board. And this is not from Norbert Williams. People have complained about that for years, about the minibus drivers, about some minibus drivers in St. Lucia. And that's a fact. And if anybody don't like to hear it, then it's still a fact. That don't change the reality. And you've heard it for years and year after year after year after year on all the talk shows in St. Lucia. Every one of them. People have called and complained about the sordid service, the bad behavior, the recklessness, the nastiness of some minibus drivers. And like I said a while ago, I've been on a number of buses, folks, and it's like you on an aircraft, you on JetBlue, you on American Airlines. I'm telling you, Adan yoka domi a van la, vielo de once of Adan van la, yo pa ka netwaye van la, ou ka asi da van la ek bel dan wash a bay ka deshiwe chiloto, deshiwe jipo, ka piche an dadao. We know that. Si desan ada two, Quand c'est tout à SLP à quitter un chemin là. Doudouk. Bam bam ou ka pon fait. No pun intended, but it's real fair taken. Puis c'est fait qui en ces chaises là. En ces sites là. Même parler about Adam say driver, si yo ka ben, si yo ka servon, si yo ka fait qui ça. Nous savons. We all know it. We've experienced it. Let's stop being hypocrites. I'm keeping it real here. Some of y'all gone bathe, man. I'm keeping it real. And I'm waiting for them. You know the usual suspects. The usual suspects will come and say something about it, but it's the truth. Some people can't handle the truth. It's like going to work in an office. It's like going to work anywhere. Ou pa mi moun ben. Ada yo ka drive, ou ka vin travail, una slippers en pied ou ka drive. Si ou yo pa même ni a sang ba yo, chi lot yo ka tomber en bas bam bam yo. I mean, come on. You can say what you want. I said what I said. Very unprofessional, some of them. Doing as if you can lime, you can put un lime en bas mango, eh bien en bas bois pain, eh bien you can changer bœuf, eh bien changer cabrit, eh bien mouton. You know it. You know I ain't lying. You've made the same observations, and I'm not the first person to say that, and I ain't gonna be the last. Some of these minibus drivers should not be minibus drivers. Adan yo sel ba yo supposé fait, c'est tend pour animaux. Some of y'all should not be dealing with people. Mis moi connaître adan animaux qui ni pli mes passer adan minibus drivers. I said it. Lots of people say it too. It's time we clean it up. Time the good minibus drivers in the associations deal with these who giving them a bad name. Yeah, minibus drivers I know in Viewfort, you on their vehicle there, folks. I'm telling you, I've taken the bus. I take the bus. I grew up taking the bus. Soufre has some wonderful minibus drivers. I can tell you about that. Viewfort too. Me adan yo pa mi yo ayo sal. We know it. Madi ou besoin mette ou sav. Madi ou ni pou mette ou pa ko rab banan le wan. Ou sa desan an ba la place like mette acheter anti bay atom bomb. Those of you who know that. Acheter anti oils, anti scented oils. Pa achay la han pou sa. Yon de $3. Hein? Gosh, man. I feel moon hot. Let me tell you, most of those bus drivers are better off selling coals. You may say I'm disrespectful, but it's the truth. Now, that's not me. That's somebody sending in a message. They are so unmannerly. You see, treat passengers like you are nothing. Your hard-earned dollars means nothing to them. Mr. Norbert, give it to them. It's well deserved. Some of the, you see, Membaila, this person is objective. Some of them look like they ain't even, Membaila, Mate Memli. Some of them look like they ain't even bathing before. Don't they know that's a job they go to every day? My gosh. Caller, well said. Well said. I say, Membaila, moi just dila. Ek mate ko Memli, sa ou ekwila. Next one. Wait. Man. Good morning, Norbert. In this elections, leadership will be very important. A party needs to show a truly united front with a clear leader who has a vision, the ability to follow through and succeed, and the ability to lead. Is the SLP truly united under Philip J. Pierre? Does he have a clear vision and the ability to implement? Is he sharing leadership with Dr. Anthony and Ernest Hilaire? Why has he not been able to demand of Hilaire an explanation and even apology on his many reckless statements made. For example, what was said in Dominica. Philip Pierre is just all over the place, flip-flopping, crying foul, indecisive, unconvincing, and unable to come across as the leader St. Lucia requires to take us successfully through these challenging COVID-19 times. The important difference between the UWP and the SLP: the UWP asks us to judge them on their performance, the SLP asks us to judge them on their promises. But Norbert, on the racism that is now seeping out from the SLP in desperation, Philip Pierre must be very careful. Kenny Anthony is on the same platform as Alan Chasney, the SLP lady senator, and Bruce and Boswell Williams, all on the same platform as Guy Joseph. So where is Pierre going with his deceptive attempts at racism? Is he now so low and desperate? Why is Philip Pierre shifting the conversation from that of leadership, the ability to lead and perform, and the ability to develop the country, to one of color and race? Martin Luther King rubbished that over 50 years ago. Why is Pierre going back there now? Good one. Watch out for the wolf in sheep's clothing. Always say, I'm not a supporter of. Yes, caller. Anytime you see they call and they tell you, well, I'm not a supporter of this, or I'm neutral, or I'm not for any party, that's a loaded one, something coming behind. Okay, next one. Where we here now? Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Somebody told me not to read that on air. You must always try putting, good morning, Mr. Williams. Well, good morning to you too. And whoever that is, I don't know. Good morning to you. Next message. Okay, that's a photo. Good morning, Mr. Williams. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. Concerning the lady who called about the Soufre cemetery, there are people who are supposed to be cleaning the cemetery, but they don't do their job. So they are the ones responsible. They're the ones responsible. Hire new staff. That's my take. But I want to know who's hiring them. Who's getting those people to do that? Is it the church? Is it some agency? I don't know. Mr. Williams, yes, it's true. Not all bus drivers are the same, but 99% of them are greedy, nasty, unmannerly. I wouldn't say it's so many. Unmannerly, disrespectful, and they don't deserve to be on the road. And some of these buses are not roadworthy. I agree with you 100%. How do they pass inspection? In the US and Canada or whatever, in the traffic department, like for example in the US, the highway police, there's actually a department called truck enforcement. Yeah, truck enforcement, where they deal specifically with stopping and inspecting on the road trucks and buses. So whether you have a container truck or what, folks, I am putting it to you with my unscientific assessment that 99% of the trucks, the containers on the road that are being hauled have non-functioning or no lights at the back. Brake lights, indicator lights, rien. You don't know whether they're stopping, whether they're turning, whatever. Whether it's the container itself, whether it's the truck that's pulling the container, rien. Rien. And when have you seen any of them stopped on the road? These things get to me. They get to me. Rien. Take a little breathing moment here. And some of these buses are not roadworthy, and someone needs to address this. They're carrying passengers. Folks, if you're on the road, if you're driving, if you're on a bus, you see it yourself. I ain't got to validate that for you. Where you do vão? Yo ka tourner pièce indicator. Yo pa même ni light pa there. But you know what? You know what? You know who? You know the suspects, the usual suspects. Give them a ticket. Oh, Male, where is COVID time? A man have to make a bread. Why you squeezing the poor man? They don't give a damn about safety. Male, way. Male, we know where that talk coming from. And this is the thing that really gets me. It gets me. Are you guys able to receive videos? If yes, let me know, because I do see a lot of nonsense sometimes. Mr. Williams, no horns either. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have an increase in COVID cases on island. Just wait until you hear whom the SLPs will blame. Some of them openly or secretly rejoice over this. They think they're punishing the government. No, you're hurting people because of your reckless behavior. God doesn't like ugly. You know, it's caller. You know, people can come up with all. Number one, let me tell you something. You can have an event in Grozile. Let's just keep it real. First of all it takes is one person, to start a spread somewhere. And you can have an event in Grozile and have an outbreak in Vieux-Fort. You don't need to be any rocket scientist to figure that out. Why? Because a carload of the people who were in Grozile went back to Vieux-Fort? Because maybe one person on a bus went to Grozile and just happened to get infected up there and went to Vieux-Fort, spread it there. We saw what happened with that bus, that minibus, and the driver who refused to cooperate with officials, with healthcare authority. So we also know that certain events, after certain events, that we have spikes. Christmas, New Year's. We did it for Easter because we know that in St. Lucia, Easter is a big thing for people. So in order to avoid that, you increase the hours of the curfew so that people won't be moving around. Because just because you're from Grozile doesn't mean that your actions cannot cause an outbreak in Vieux-Fort or Soufrière. Because all it takes is for you to come into contact with one person who gets on a bus and goes down. After the march last year in October, we saw a spike. People were saying, wait, folks, go through social media, go through the press, go through the shows. They're all there on Facebook and everything. Listen to the comments, read the comments. What people say, they were expecting. But people tell you they are guided by the science. That's what the science says. You have what do we call it? Mass crowd events. You get a spike. We see it all over the world when they have carnival in Matnik. In Matnik, M-A-T-N-I-K, Matnik. We see it happen in Europe, in Spain, in Italy. They have this street fair or whatever they have. People put their guard down. Like Adam Munsa Kadi, put your guards down. Say, pa guards. God say moon. When your guard, your defense. People had their guard down. And what happened? Within 14 days, we see a spike. We saw a spike within 14 days of the October the 4th march. That's a fact. That's a fact, folks. I ain't asking you that. I ain't begging you to agree with me. That is a statistical fact. For Christmas, people were out and about. What we saw? A spike. That's a fact. For New Year's, people were out and about. Within 14 days, we saw another spike. That's a fact. For Easter, we learn by what's going on, by the guidelines, by the science. Philip J. Pierre, the science. What happened? Government increased the curfew hours for Easter. And what happened? We had no spike. Wow! Wow! How did that happen? Was that an accident? No! It was not done accident. It's because the government put the measures in place. because of what had been happening around the world, what we saw. Last year when we had the state of emergency, we had the curfews, we had the lockdown, everything until October. We had no spike. But then 2 weeks ago, what did we have? A motorcade, Jeremiah Norbert, there were all the red millibugs out, 2x2. And say, well, it was in Miko, it was in the south, so how are you talking about the west have a spike? That's the same people that telling you they're guided by the science, you know. The same people that telling you they're guided by the science. And of course, within 14 days of that darn motorcade with so many people, 2x2, Adam Pani, Mastal de Bagay, and you know, folks, I'm going to address it to you. I'm going to address it to you this morning. This was the most reckless, uncaring, idiotic thing the SLP could ever do. And since you want to go that way of trying and play the sympathy card for Jeremiah Norbert, I'm going down there this morning. I'm going down there. You want to be guided by the science? Well, let's be guided by the science today. I'm keeping it real with you. It's a fact Jeremiah Norbert was involved in a terrible accident that everybody felt sorry for him. That's a fact. Jeremiah Norbert, as a result of that accident, lost a leg. A fact. Jeremiah Norbert has to be taking drugs to combat any type of infection. He has a compromised immune system because he has a limb that was cut off. We know that. Therefore, he is more at risk than the average person out there. That's a fact. For all intents and purposes, Jeremiah Norbert has an underlying condition. That's a fact. And you tell me you're going to go get in a come on, man. What science tells you that that's okay? That's somebody you have to protect. That is somebody who has to be all out there now, what? 2.5 months, 3 months max since that? Come on, man. Come on. Come on, I ain't that stupid. And you tell me you're guided by the science? Come on, man. Come on, St. Lucians. Hey, come on. I mean, where is the sensibility? And there are photos of Jeremiah Norbert with the mask under his chin. Come on, man. Y'all need to be more responsible than that. I mean, that's the heights of recklessness. Heights of recklessness. A former police officer, a brother of mine. What they say, once a police, always a police. Well, he's a brother of mine because I was a police officer too. So we're in the same boat. Former police officers. Come on, man. And you want to put people on the defensive, you know, with the sympathy thing and try and make it seem like people attacking Jeremiah Norbert? Where are the level heads in that party? Where are the sensible people over there? Guided by the science, my toe. Guided by the reckless science. Which science is that? Come on, man. Come on. Next one. Pass on the Grosley bus stand in Castries at 4 a.m. in the morning. You will meet them sleeping in the bus. Somebody just sent me that message. Good morning, Mr. Norbert. How on earth can St. Lucia be talking about or spitting out racism when we all carry the same color blood? Now, do they forget that most of our people had migrated to England, to the white man land, to seek support for their families that were left behind? Isn't it that the money was coming from the white man's country? Shaping my head. This is ridiculous to listen to. Thanks for a great job, and let us all pray that God continues to protect and save our St. Lucia through all this propaganda and malicious work of the devil. Norbert, good morning. Did you listen to Alvina and Mary Polius's lies, lies, lies? I will listen today. And if it needs to be responded to, why can't I respond? Good morning, Mr. Williams. How can the people of St. Lucia not realize the desperation for power of the St. Lucia Labour Party? How can they have forgotten about better days are coming, which is not too long ago? The desperate desire for power is just so palpable. They are enraged. Mr. Williams, the people such as Ernest Hille, who claim to have a doctorate, a PhD, but devoid of wisdom, such PhDs have only one meaning, and that is pli havoc et puis dommage. They do not deserve to be referred to as honorable. On the contrary, they behave like simple, low-life people. Well, that's what somebody thinks. People of St. Lucia, please smell the coffee. Next one. Good morning. This is so true. I know of 2 bus drivers who leave the bus station and go home to shower, then return. But some of them... well, I won't read that. Talking about the odors. Exactly. These, you see, folks, it's not me. It's people responding here now about the bus service. Exactly. These drivers should know that they are customer-based service. But it's like some just don't care at all, at all, at all. Canada has their truck enforcement as well, called the MTO. The truck drivers fear them because the fines are not cheap at all. Yep. Got you right there on that. Well, what's this now? Somebody says the speedometer doesn't work, so they never know how fast they're going. Okay, next one. Hi, Norbert. Hi, Norbert. Good morning to you. I think that one of the main reasons why the SLP is making so much noise about the projects in the South is because they feel that it threatens their very existence, since their base is in the South. Vieux-Fort North, South, and Labrie. Well, I don't know, but Vieux-Fort North is now going London. Can I help? Somebody says that some of the talk shows out there, especially early in the morning and involving other talk show hosts, are more aggressive than the Sky Crew. Sky FM is... I don't know what that... DH, I don't know what that means. Sky FM is... I guess... I don't know. DH. I don't know what word that could be. I'm trying to see what the typo could be. Sky FM is here, I guess I'll say here, to teach St. Lucians the truth. But those other shows, it seems to me, on a war thing. They're on manipulating the people's minds all the time. Okay, one more. They're saying cases are coming from the front door. Nonsense. Visitors are coming in every day. How comes the cases went down dramatically? All of a sudden, the cases are going up. Crazy. We will show them at the polls. And one more here. Okay, that's it. Folks, we're going to take a few calls again. 8:21, we'll go until hour. Phone is back on 4560931. 4560931. Give me a call. Let's talk about what's going on. And we have our first caller. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah,
let's keep it real. Morning.
About this guy that called about Dr. Secret, and he claimed that he's a supporter of a party, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, I consider people who call talk shows and express themselves that they support this particular or the other. I call that a no ball. I'll tell you why I call it a no ball. If I tell you I'm going to vote for you, you have no reason to know that I'm going to vote for you, you know. Because when I go in the polling station, I'm there alone, right? So I believe that people can make their contribution. However, he's tackling the guy. The guy said he know the guy, and the guy always called to talk nonsense on his program. Now, we all have a different personality. Now, if I decide to curse your mother on Mother's Day, and I curse your mother very loud because I don't like you, and everybody hearing me, or I come close to you and I curse your mother. There's much of a difference. It's just different way of expressing whatever I want to do. So the guy has his personality, the way he conducts himself. You'd have yours. Champagne has these. Everybody have, but I don't find the guy is doing anything prerogative. Tell these guys to listen to guys like Yadi and Christopher Hunt and these guys. I mean, these guys sometimes they really go off board. So I disagree with the guy saying that the guy is you doing a better job than this one, the other one. Everybody have their way of doing things, you know. As long as you don't insult anybody or use obscene language on the air and things like that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say for now.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Folks, and I want to say again, big up to all the minibus drivers out there. And thank you to the minibus drivers who do such an important job right here in St. Lucia. But we know we have to clean things up everywhere. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, because for the statement this morning. You know, Lucia's motto, the land people they like, it should be changed to our land, our people. Maybe we could keep the like, or we could say our land, our people, our like, and see if we will not become more patriotic, respect the land, don't sell it, don't make deal and everything. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much.
I would also send out a petition for us to change our motto, our land, our people, maybe the like or our like.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. 4560931. We give you an opportunity to express your thoughts, and people keep it real with themselves by listening and figuring out for themselves whether the statements made are sensible or whatever, but we give everybody an opportunity to respectfully make their point. And of course, you know, if you're not, or if you try to use the station here or my show to spew your nonsense, you know you're going to get flushed. Okay? Nothing wrong in expressing yourself, nothing wrong in expressing what you think, and other people will come to their own conclusions about that, just like you do about other people. Other people come to their conclusions about what you say. We're just keeping it real here. 4560931. We have about 6 minutes left, 5.5 minutes left. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Noble.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Great, talk to me.
There is one thing I want to find out.
Yes.
Whether Mr. Pierre left St. Lucia to do his studies or whether he stayed in the island. Because since he is concerned about he doesn't have 2 passports, and he stayed in St. Lucia all his days, so I would like to find out, because I know most times people go away and spend almost a year, 2-3 years overseas.
Well, you know what, caller, I do know that he went to UWI, and I think he is not using that as part of his assessment. And I think we can ignore that and think of the bigger picture and what he's trying to pinpoint, that people live out of St. Lucia for a long time. Well, you know what? Since you bring it up, Kenny Anthony lived out of St. Lucia for a very long time. So what about him? Does he have some special badge of honor more than Dr. Kenny Anthony because he never lived out of St. Lucia? You know, that's the question that we have to ask ourselves. We have to ask him. You know, when you realize to yourself that, you know, this is so ridiculous, then you've stumbled on the answer to all of this. Absolute ridiculosity.
Yeah, most likely he has something more than Dr. Kenny Anthony.
Yeah, well, you know.
Because he has foolishness in him as somebody who wants to lead the St. Lucians.
And there's all shades of complexion in the SLP.
Of course.
Dr. Kenny Anthony, Nikule Wayayay, Ipanwe.
Oh, but his father was white. He was from England.
I caller, you know, when you start going down that road, you begin to realize how ridiculous this statement is from Philip J. Pierre. Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day. Thanks for keeping it real. We'll take 2 more calls, maybe a few more until 8:30 this morning. 456-0931. We have another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real. Morning.
Y'all, I hear y'all keep saying all ball, all day, all year, the Pierre Foundation. People probably thinking it's Philip Pierre.
Nobody thinks so. Everybody knows it's not him. It's not Philip Pierre.
But I rather y'all say the welfare
No,
check.
that's the name of the foundation. It's called the Peer Foundation.
So the Pierre, they take the thing for it, boy.
No, he's not. Nobody has confused it with. I'm sure of that. Nobody has. Paula, that's just neither here nor there. Thank you very much. Have a great day. We have a few minutes left. 4560931. Pierre is not a bad name. Okay? It's the Pierre Foundation. That's the name of it. End of story. 4560931, folks. Let me see if I have any message here that I may have missed. None so far. So that's going to be it today for the messages. Good morning, Norbert. If our vendors' market standards have been improved, then our bus drivers most definitely need to have a makeover. After all, they are running a business, not doing us a favor. The tea boutique mentality must go. Yep, you absolutely right, caller. Another message here. The SLP has taken a page out of the Republican Party of the USA. They create false narratives and spin it in all their Fox-like shows. Eventually, they get people thinking their lies are truths. And so it goes on. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, good morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I've been listening to your program from early morning. And I've been following most of the calls. But I heard a caller, trying to say he called off the secret program and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I don't want to perpetuate that too much there, you know.
But the truth of the matter is, this is how those liberal rights wants to follow our radio station and make us believe, they're with us. But they're not with us. But let's move on.
The People's Radio.
The People's Radio.
Yeah.
But the problem I have, right now, supposed to be the day to find out about the boom boom. I hope it's today that is the case. I'm not sure.
No, it's not today.
Oh, it's not today?
No.
Well, I think
all cases in that court were adjourned last week. I guess today they will get the dates for the adjournment of the individual cases. I don't know what the reason was for.
Yeah, but I mean, the court self, man. I want to jump into conclusion, but this is something that could dealt with plain and simple. The customs had a problem with documents. It wouldn't take 10 to 15 minutes to say who wrong and who right. End of quote. But Norbert, I am very surprised about that increase in COVID down in the southern part of the country.
Yeah.
The southern part of the country, by the Mico area.
Well, actually, the area is the southwest, so I would suppose it's referred to as the southwestern belt. So I would suppose that would mean Chazelle, Labrie area there.
Okay. Well, we all know we saw a motorcade, almost 2.5 weeks ago. And I was told there's results that came back, and boy, the news is not good.
But if you want to use the argument of the SLP, that Miku is where Jeremiah Norbert is for, then you have to ask yourself, how did COVID get to St. Lucia? Because it didn't start here. So how it got here? Somebody traveled.
Exactly.
How did the minibus driver, the minivan, get involved in all of this? That he was driving the Viewfort route, but where was the outbreak? These are the silly responses you get trying to make people believe that they don't know or they don't understand what's going on. So what if he's from Miku? So what if it ended up there? People drive all over the place.
Right.
And it falls within the period of 14 days since that. End of story.
Correct.
And we've seen it happen over and over and over again.
That is correct. But the problem I have, we all used to sympathize with the
30
guy.
seconds, caller. We got to roll.
We sympathize with the guy during the course of the accident and what have you and what not. But you saw the videos when he went to Masnik, man, and I totally agree with the conditions the guy has. And the man have two glasses of champagne, a number of people, around the man.
Yeah.
Only 2 persons out of 30-something people wearing masks, and the man they
I saw that. I thought that was crazy anyway.
That is,
man, I have that video still, and every time I look at it,
that's
say,
absolutely
this young
crazy.
man, I don't know if they're using him or he's trying to get sympathy votes. The truth of the matter is
that
this
was
man
crazy.
does not like himself.
Okay.
He does not like himself.
All right. Thank you very much, caller.
And I leave it as that.
Have a great day. Thank you. Folks, and we've come again. You know what? I'll take one more call. It's just going to be a 1-minute call. One more call in 30 seconds. If no calls, then we're going to end it for today. Okay, folks, I want to say thank you so much for joining me right here on Sky FM for another morning edition of Keeping It Real. I'm yours truly, Norbert Williams. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Observe the protocols. And okay, we have one on WhatsApp coming in. That'll be the last call for today. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's make it quick and keep it real.
Good morning, Norbert.
Good morning.
Good morning. Calling from Babono. Just want to tell you, you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so we'll catch up.
Okay, hope you have a lovely day. How was Mother's Day for you?
Well, it was great. It was great. I relaxed. I enjoyed it with some of my children who were home with me. So I had a good time.
Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you very much.
I don't call all the time, but I listen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Right. Yeah, bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it, folks. Another morning edition of Keeping It Real tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Joining me, hopefully, the one and only, Minerva Ward, 6 to 8 tomorrow morning, right here on Sky FM. And don't forget, tomorrow evening, 8:30 p.m. on Hot 7 TV, we're going to have a very special, in-depth episode of Keeping It Real. You don't want to miss it. 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night, Hot 7 TV. And coming up at 9 o'clock, the man Champagne with Champagne in the Morning. It's always hot. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's going to be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it.
Hi everyone, I'm Amira Sere and I'm a student at the Monico Pasios Combined School. I'm in grade 6 and my teacher is Miss Stanislas. My favorite subject would be math. I don't normally like it, but my teacher makes it finds a way to make it fun. I also love the positive quote she put up all over the walls. It reminds me to keep going. Also, the new wing is very impressive. The balcony is very large. So at break time, I can eat my snack and, go for a nice little walk. I also like the size of the classroom, so I'm not sticking on anybody because, 6 feet apart. Before, it was a rocky ride coming to school when I normally take the bus. But now, the drivers don't have any complaints now that the district rep fixed it. Before, it was like a rocky, stony road. The road, but now that they fixed it with some concrete and nice tools, it's a smooth ride. I may even fall asleep.
Thank you, Dr. Rigobert.
Crossfire, discussing the issues. Norbert Williams, Champagne, Dr. Secret, and Ring the Bell. Thursdays, 8 p.m. on Sky FM and GVD TV. Don't you miss it.
tune in to GVD TV 115 and Facebook Live this and every Tuesday for Let's Talk with Auntie Gail, where we will discuss what is happening in our constituency and the progress we have made so far. Anu pale epi Auntie Gail, Tule Madi asu GVD TV channel yon sek. Mikudnof, we've got this. Let's talk.